No Rest for the Wicked, and it's by Moon Studios with no release date.
Adam, are you excited for this game?
Do you want my honest opinion, Dave?
Yes.
I think you may have finally done it. I think so. I do have some thoughts about it that I am concerned about, but other than that, Dave, you might have done it. You might have found a Souls-like action precision RPG game that has my interest. Like, actually got it.
Mark today on the calendars, boys. Let's go. Okay, let's pull up the trailer because I am super excited about this one. Okay, like Adam said, this is No Rest for the Wicked. This is by Moon Studios, and you don't know anything about Moon Studios. They are responsible for two absolute gems, Ori and the Blind Forest, and the follow-up to that, which was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And both of those games are absolutely incredible. And if you've not played those games before, I implore you to please go try them out because they're absolutely amazing. They're a lot like Hollow Knight, but they're very aesthetically pleasing to look at, and the brightness and the graphics and all that stuff are just absolutely insane. So the thing with Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and if you played through that game, you know that the story has kind of wrapped up. They've talked about everything that they can do in that series. So this is going to be a brand new series from Moon Studios. And if you're just listening on the Spotify, what we're looking at right now is there's this scene right now that's going to kind of set the, I wish I had a better word,
The
but
story. Kind of set the story, set the scene a little bit.
yeah, it's going to set the scene. So what we're seeing is that the current king, unfortunately, is going to pass away. And that means that that he needs to leave the throne to his heir. And the thing about this is not like an incredible story. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a story that's been told before. But the population of the town is not super excited about the heir taking over. There's a lot of concerns and stuff like that. And it just so happens that once the heir takes over, at the exact same time, this city is kind of hit with this plague. And the plague affects all forms of life, from like plant life to wildlife to human beings, and it basically turns them into these monsters. And that's going to be the setup for this game. There's going to be this internal struggle of the population of just not being happy with the new king, and then also dealing with this like plague at the same time. And I think it's going to be really good, dude. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, and so with that plague, it's called the Pestilence. Pestilence, I think, is what the name of the plague is.
Yeah.
Like Dave said, it's an unholy plague, is what they call it.
Yes.
And you're gonna play as a member, or is it Cerim? Is that how you say that word? Cerim?
Are you talking about like the
like your playable character? You're gonna play as a Cerim, a member
Cerin,
of a.
I believe it is a Cerin.
I typed an M. I'm stupid.
It's fine, but it's fine.
Anyways, you're gonna play as a Cerin, a member of a group of mystical holy warriors sworn to defeat the plague at all costs. That's gonna be your character.
So I think what we're gonna see here is, like, obviously, like we talked about, there's going to be different kind of groups here that start to form, right? And this is going to start with the death of the king and the transfer of the crown to the next heir. Magnus is his name. Yes. So you're going to see that there is this divide in the population of people that are not happy about this new king taking over, people that are happy about this king taking over, and then mix in that with this plague that is now taking over. And I think it's going to be the fuel that kind of decides which side people are on, whether they're for the king, like pro king or anti king, based on like, okay, we've got this new heir, there's a plague that's happening. How is he going to handle the situation? And then people kind of diverse themselves into specific sides based on that. But yeah, like Adam said, you are going to be a holy warrior, and you are tasked with um, stopping the plague at all costs. And I think it just looks really, really cool. I'm super, super excited for it. It looks really, really great. If you guys are just listening on the Spotify, it's another game. I implore you to check out the trailer because the trailer is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. So, like Dave said, the word they use to describe their world is it's painterly. It has like this almost like painty feel to it.
Yeah, like a painting come to life.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it looks really cool. And I think why I'm super excited about it is the camera angle. Like I love games that kind of play like it's not top down, but it's not right behind them in a third person. Um, I think that's why I really liked it, and just the way the character design is, the world design, and I think that's really cool. Like, in the story, yeah, you said it's nothing groundbreaking, but just the way it's playing throughout the trailer, that's where I was excited. And then I watched some of the gameplay, and I was like, "Huh, I like the way this one's moving. I like the way the view is, the aesthetic of the game, the atmosphere of the game is really cool." And I know it's very similar to a lot of some Souls likes in terms of like the gameplay mechanics and things like that. Like it's got the precision combat, which a lot of these games have. But kind of going into that a little bit, it like I said, it's supposed to challenge players in terms like it will require strategy and things like that. They promise that each weapon will have its own weight and like move sets to it and speed, so that's really cool. And then like all the other games, like you'll get to the build your character as like you want to play, if that makes sense. Now here's a question. They say like a lot, like the developers come out and say they're going to revolutionize the genre. Like, what do you think is revolutionary about this game that they're making that claim?
You know what, dude? Like, I'll be honest. I don't see a lot of revolutionizing. If we're gonna be 100% honest, I know that they made those claims, and I really looked through it, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's so revolutionary about it, but it also just looks like a good standalone title. Like it doesn't have to be revolutionary. Like I feel like they almost shouldn't make that claim.
Yeah, and I think that claim's gonna hurt them, to be honest. I think if they would have said, "Hey, we're making a precision action RPG," another like they don't have to say another one, but we're making our version, like, and not gonna say like revolutionize it, because like when game developers say that kind of stuff, and then the game's released, they're like, I mean, what was so special? Like, what made it so great? You know what I mean? Like, I think they kind of shot themselves in the foot with saying that. Not to say the game's gonna be bad, but I think it's gonna have like this behind like I don't know what the word is like underlying like thought like, oh, we said it was gonna be revolutionizing, and then like fans are like, it was just a good game. It wasn't amazing. It didn't change how I feel about action RPGs, and that's kind of where I was going. Like, I don't think it has that capability. Yes, the game looks really cool and it's got my interest, unlike a lot of these kinds of games. But for me, I think what's really cool is just the view. Like, I think the view and the aesthetics of the game is really cool to me, and that's why I'm excited about it.
If you guys haven't seen any of the gameplay or anything like that, what Adam's talking about is it almost has that like quarter top down view, a lot like Diablo, where it's like it's a very, very cool camera angle, and I like it too. And I like it a lot for combat because I think it allows you to like you said, this is much more of a deliberate kind of strategic precision combat style. And I think having that angle and that wider field of view really allows you to like pre-plan your next move. So I think that's great for combat. But yeah, dude, I agree with you. Like, I don't think that they necessarily should have said, this is like groundbreaking, like, what I mean? Like they shouldn't have used those words. But I do think that there's a couple things in here that are not pretty typical of Souls like. So I mean it could actually be revolutionizing, but again, I do digress. I don't want them to use those words, but When we talk about Souls, like there's a lot of customization. There's a lot of customization in the weapons and your armor set and your character in itself. But the one thing that's really kind of lacking on Souls likes is customization of like your habitat. And I think that's one thing that they did really kind of introduce, and that's maybe what they're talking about. Is that you are going to have various locations to travel to, but you're going to have a home base, your hub. And the town is called Sacrament, and within the town of Sacrament, you can buy property and you can customize that house. You can do a lot of things on your property, like you can fish, you can farm, you can cook, you can craft spells. You can do a lot of stuff. So like that aspect of an RPG is usually not typical of Souls likes. That's usually something that they kind of leave out. So my thought is maybe that's what they're talking about, is kind of revolutionizing the genre of giving us a Souls like that incorporates a few more of the RPG elements that people kind of enjoy.
Okay, that makes sense then. But like you said, it's not truly revolutionizing. It's just adding another aspect to the game that people will enjoy. That makes sense. That makes sense. Another thing with it is like they're gonna have online multiplayer. I know you're not a huge multiplayer person, but for those that are, you can play up to 3 friends. And the way I think it's kind of cool is you can either play with your friend throughout the mission, or your friends can like join in your world and go do their own thing, which I think is really cool. Because I know isn't like is it Dark Souls or Elden Ring? They can join your game to help you and then they leave kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so traditional Souls likes, I mean, we talked about this is like you can summon people into your world and you can either PvP in which you go one on one and fight them, or you summon them in to help you fight like a boss battle. But once that action is done, the player is evacuated from your world. So this is much different.
Yeah, and I think that's cool. They tried that in Atlas is Fallen, like Atlas Fallen, and I thought that was really cool. To be able to play with friends like the whole time. But yeah, so I mean, Dave, I think you did it. I think this is one that I'm going to try with more optimism than some of the other ones I've tried, because I really like the feel of this one more so than some of the others. Like yes, it still looks like it plays that way. But just the aesthetic wise of it is really got me excited. And that's why I think this is going to be it. And I don't know if Ori was ever like full retail game, but I don't think this game is going to be a $70 game.
I don't think it's going to be a full $70 game either. Or when Ori came out, I don't believe it was full retail price. I believe it was probably around the 30. I forget what I paid for it, but probably around 39 bucks.
Right now on Steam, it's $30, and that's the one that was released in 2020. And it doesn't say it's on sale at any point. So I'm thinking that that's probably right around that kind of price point. I could be wrong though, but this isn't a game that I'm gonna buy at $70. But if it's $30, I'm picking it up. And there's like no like ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like I'm definitely gonna pick it up if it's that. And if not, I'll just wait till it goes on sale. But Dave, you did it. You have me like putting this game on my wish list. So
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, guys, I'm super excited about this one. I'm glad Adam's excited about it too. Again, the story's nothing, to write home about, but I do think they're going to have some amazing lore. I implore you that if you are just listening, please go check out the trailer, because I think you guys are going to absolutely love the game aesthetic. Like we said, it's a painting come to life, and you can really see that in that bright, vibrant, just kind of color scheme is great. I trust Moon Studios a lot. Like I said, I love Ori. I think the gameplay mechanics in Ori are really, really great, and I think they're going to transfer over those great gameplay mechanics to this one too. And yeah, I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to see more from it. It should be so sweet.